Find the equation of a line given the slope and a point on the line. So this is a common example, and here we have, they're giving us the slope of a line and a point of that line, and they're asking us to find the equation of this line. Okay, so we know once again that the slope-intercept form of the line is equal to y equals mx plus b. Let's write it down here as a reference. Right? And we know that m represents the slope and b represents the y-intercept. Well, let's figure out the equation of this line with this information. Now, it doesn't hurt, and without graphing, by the way, without graphing algebraically. Now, it doesn't hurt to do a rough sketch. If you like, you can do this, right? We know that 0.45 is there, and then since the slope is positive, we know that the line is going to have to go this way, right? So we don't know yet what the y-intercept might be, but at least we know that the line will be increasing as we move to the right. Okay, I am just going to erase this for a second, but at least you know you have an idea of how is it supposed to look like roughly. But let's solve this algebraically because it's faster. So we know that the slope is 2 and it passes through this point. We know that the slope-intercept form is equal to y equals mx plus b. So let's just substitute it. We have the slope, so let's substitute it into this equation. So in other words, we write the following. We know that the slope is 2, so we might as well substitute it. So we're going to get y equals 2x plus, what's the y-intercept? We don't know yet. So how do we figure out the y-intercept? Well, we figure out the y-intercept by using the given point. The point that they gave us is 4, in this example is 4, 5, right? We know that the coordinates of these are, x, y. So let's substitute these into this equation, right? So we're going to do the following. For y, we're going to write 5, and here we have 2 times x, which happens to be 4, right? Which happens to be 4 plus b. Right? And now let's expand this and solve for b. So in other words, on this side we end up with 5 equals 4, 2 times 4, 8 plus b. Now let's move the 8 to the other side. So we end up with 5 minus 8 equals b, which essentially b becomes -3. Okay, so now we have our y-intercept, which is -3, and we already know what the slope is. So the equation of a line that has this slope and passes through this point is going to be, we essentially substitute our values, and it will be y equals 2x minus 3. All right, so this is the equation of the line that passes through this point. Let's look at another example here. Same idea. Let's move this up a little more, and let's say they were giving us find the equation of a line that has a slope of -1/4 and passes through point 2, 6. Right? Once again, we know that this line has a negative slope, so we expect the line to be decreasing as we move to the right. And you can do a rough sketch if you like. I'm just going to go ahead and start developing the solution for this. So once again, we know that it's the slope of the line is equal to y equals mx plus b. Well, they already gave us the slope, so let's start using this. Right? Let's start substituting. Once again, we write y equals -1/4 x plus b. And how do we find b? We use the given point. So every point on the line has these coordinates x, y. Right? So let's start substituting this. So for y, we're going to write 6. And it's going to be equal to our slope, -1/4 times x, which in this case is 2. Right? Plus b, which is what we're going to solve. So let's continue doing that, And so what do we happens here? We end up with, okay, so 6 equals nothing on this side. Negative 1 over 4 times 2 becomes negative 2 over 4 plus b, and this becomes negative 1 over 2. So I'm going to continue with this over here. Right? So we write 6 equals negative 1 over 2 plus b. And now negative 1 over 2, we need to solve for b. So negative 1 over 2, when we move to the other side, it becomes plus 1 over 2. So essentially we have 6 plus 1 over 2 equals b. So now we need to add these two. We find the common denominator happens to be 2. 2 divided by 1, 2 times 6, 12, plus 2 divided by 2, 1 times 1. So this becomes, b becomes 13 over 2, and that's our y-intercept. And essentially we found our y-intercept, we substitute it into our equation, and our final answer will be, let's move this up a little more, y equals negative 1 over 4x plus 13 over 2. So this is the equation of a line that has this slope and passes through that point.